Rocky III from 1982 was the first Rocky film that really didn't feel like a Rocky film, oddly enough. Rocky 1 and 2 felt so connected. It felt like it was almost one big movie, even though Rocky 2 was noticeably inferior. Still, it felt like one giant adventure. Whereas with Rocky 2, it does take place a few years after. With Rocky 3, it does take place a few years after Rocky 2, but it does feature more liveliness, more hipness to it. And, we get to see just how far Rocky has come since his fight with Apollo after winning the world title. So, yeah, sometime after we recap the Rocky 2, the movie explodes into a big montage of Eye of the Tiger from the band Survivor, the Oscar-winning song. One of the biggest pop rock songs of the 80s. Very, very fun pump-up song. And during that, we get to see that Rocky has successfully defended his title 10 different times. He's had tons and tons and tons of celebrity endorsements. Been on TV how many times? Been on magazine covers how many times? Done how many talk shows? So yeah, he's been the most famous fighter in the world ever since winning the title from Apollo Creed. And frankly, he thinks he's just untouchable right now. Meanwhile, there's this young fighter from Chicago named Clubber Lang, who's played by Mr. T, his very first thing. And Clubber Lang, he acts all obnoxious in a bid to really just be the best. Sometimes people, they need to be vocal about their things in order to really build up their own egos. And I thought that Clubber Lang was kind of like that. But the difference between Clubber Lang and Rocky is Clubber Lang is actually very hungry to be a world champion. Rocky's ego has really gotten the better of him, and Mickey, his manager Mickey, who really taught him the ropes, he no longer believes in Rocky. He thinks that Rocky has gone soft, his ego's gotten too big, and it's to the point where Mickey ended up handpicking Rocky's 10 opponents. Sure, some of those 10 guys were good. They were legitimate threats towards Rocky. But for a few years, Mickey was ducking the best guy that there was, and that was Clubber Lang. So eventually Rocky gets that big statue of him unveiled. The one in Philadelphia, the golden statue outside the Art Museum. Well, when Rocky gets that, that's finally when Clubber Lang has had enough, and he goes there in person and challenges Rocky to a fight. But Mickey shoots him down, and but Rocky says, "No, I want to fight this guy. What's going on?" Mickey confesses that he doesn't have any faith that Rocky's going to win. He admitted that those 10 title defenses were all setups. And even when Rocky talks him into training him against Clubber, even then Rocky did not take him seriously. But Mickey's getting old, okay? And all within a matter of minutes, Rocky brutally loses to Clubber Lang in the second round of their fight, and Mickey dies. And everyone stops believing in Rocky because of all that. So yeah, Rocky just he's hit rock bottom. He thinks that he's a complete nobody right now, and that is until his old enemy Clubber Lang steps out of the shadows and agrees to train him to get his edge back. Because Apollo Creed doesn't really like Clubber Lang. Thought that Clubber Lang was had a very big mouth, very obnoxious, and He thought that Rocky's humility from way back when was very, very well justified. He thought that that was a really good way that boxing should be represented. So it's only because of Apollo's lifelong trainer and manager, Tony Duke Everson, and Adrian, that Rocky's able to regain his confidence and finally defeat Clubber Lang once and for all. So the movie is it is very well done. It's a good way to look back and start from scratch, teach an old dog new tricks. All that stuff is good. And the performance by Mr. T as Clubber Lang, it is a really, really good. This is the year before he did the A-Team, and you can see the similarities between what became the Mr. T archetype. Clubber Lang in this one, then he does the A-Team a year later. Very, very huge similarities, and that's very, very cool stuff there. There are some flaws here and there. The whole idea of why didn't Mickey keep ducking Clubber Lang when he knew that Rocky's ego was getting worse? If Rocky lost to Clubber Lang beforehand, instead of Mickey constantly ducking it, then still that the loss would have been more deserved. It would not have been very tainted. Rocky would have known that he would have needed to have trained harder. He would have known that he needed to have trained better. But Mickey did admit that him ducking Clubber Lang all those years was a mistake. He did it a couple of times, and after a while, he had to do it afterwards, and he regretted it. So yeah, that was kind of a flaw, but it was also kind of something that was understandable. Whatever. This is the only Rocky film in the series where the final fight scene is actually done all in chronological order without any bits of elliptical editing or anything like that. The fight scene, it is pretty good, but I just thought that Clubber Lang, he hits Rocky so many times in their very first fight, and Rocky's eyes are swollen shut. He's gushing blood all over. And then in their rematch, yes, Rocky's able to block and dodge more often, but still, Clubber hits him way more often in the face in their second fight. But Rocky just gets just 2 gashes on his face, and that's it. Barely any blood at all. Whatever. So I do think that Rocky 3 was a good film. I'll give it 3 stars out of 4.